Hello everyone, welcome back to Form of Therapy. This is the Culture Study. I'm the channel's video producer and your host. You can call me PD. And today we are checking out the debut of a brand new boy group. This is TNT, aka Truth&Trust by TRENDZ. So TRENDZ is a brand new boy group, and with new debuting groups, I want to do just like a little bit of research, and there's actually some interesting fun facts about TRENDZ. So TRENDZ is a new boy group debuting under Interpark Music Plus. The name Interpark is what makes it weird. So I looked into it, and they are definitely associated. They are a subsidiary of Interpark, and for a lot of you K-pop fans, the name Interpark might not mean something because they are primarily focused in Korea, but Interpark is a very big e-commerce website. I've used Interpark before. Interpark, especially in Korea, and if you ever traveled to Korea, you might know to go see K-pop concerts. Interpark is a website you would use to either buy stuff online, kind of like Amazon, or you could also get K-pop concert tickets online. I went to Big Bang's Last Dance concert back in like 2012 or whatever, whenever that was, and I got my tickets through Interpark. And so Interpark is a pretty big company, and they largely have not dabbled in the music sector. They did once do a collaborative joint project with MBK Entertainment called Pocket Doll, but they were only the distributors on that. And you know, let's face it, we all know the reputation that MBK has. And so I think after all of that, maybe Interpark was like, you know what, let's just do it all ourselves. Let's make the label ourselves. Let's distribute it ourselves. Let's not do this joint collaboration thing. And so TRENDZ is a big part of that. Regarding the TRENDZ press release and what the statement they are making with this, because TRENDZ is not the most creative of names, but when you hear their mission statement, it's kind of pretty bold. It's kind of like what I expected with The Boys. After The Boys, when they were debuting, I was like, well, if you're going to have a name as generic as The Boys, that can either be very generic or it can be your claim to fame. Like, we are The Boys. Out of all the boy groups in America, we are The Boys. And so with a name like TRENDZ, well, I wasn't quite sure. But then they said that their plan is to lead the coming generation of Gen Z. And so I'm sure that's what the significance of the Z is in TRENDZ. But also to call it TRENDZ, I'm sure, you know, they didn't say it explicitly in the press release, but I'm sure they are also trying to say we're going to be leading the trends of the Gen Z generation. So missed opportunity there in that press release. I don't know why they didn't use that, but that's a free one for you. So I'm looking forward to this. There's a little bit of buzz around them because they've apparently debuted some really powerful dance covers of different groups. I have not seen them myself. You know, if I enjoy this, I may go around and check them out on our Patreon. But yeah, also, before we get into the video, as I just mentioned, if you want to support the channel, go visit our Patreon. We do bonus reactions, listening parties, variety content, survival shows, K-dramas. You can support the channel and also get bonus content. Of course, you don't have to support us monetarily if you don't want to. Let's just get into the video. This is TNT, aka Truth&Trust by TRENDZ, and this is your form of therapy. Okay. Wow. Okay. Immediately, visually eye-catching at least.
여긴 어디? I'm gonna crash. I want to go back. 시작점 그때 헤맬 수도 있지 going days. Don't be for true, lie, fake or fact. 그게 모든 가리. 또다시 네가 오는 panic. 못한 시간 없을 테니. 울리는 틱택 눈을 뜨게 돼 click crack. 여긴 어디? 반복된 crash. 점점 흐릿해져가는 시야. Get away from this reality. High and bright 여긴 paradise. 펼쳐지는 story.
I don't know what it is exactly, but they have my attention.
Don't stop, 이 길의 끝은 없어. Try on, 달려 get closer. 나를 구원해줘, set me free. 후회 따윈 없으니 can't stop. 무너져버린 chapter We can going up, we can going up TNT Yeah, I wanna get it back 입이면 last 못 찾고 있어 clue 머릿속 더 잔상을 남겨 make it blue 밝게 빛이 없던 길 잃어낼 꺼내줘 falling 저 푸른 빛이 따라보는
Okay. I think I got a feel for what this is reminding me of. Ooh, okay. I am into this hook. Wow, this is... Alright, this is impressive. This is impressive. Okay.
눈앞에 swing 집어삼키는 캄캄한 도시 위 just pop pop 터져 blow it up blast 기억속 빛났던 past 도시 위 나에게 펴줘 now go get her We can blow it up like TNT
Oh.
Don't stop 이 길의 끝은 없어 Try on 더 달려 get closer 나를 구원해줘 set me free 후회 따윈 없으니 Can't stop 무너져버린 chapter We can going up TNT Cause you want it all And I'm on it, yeah I'm on it all up on the wall Cause you want it all And I'm on it, yeah I'm on it doing body fall
Oh my god, the chorus outro is inspired.
We can blow it up, TNT.
Oh wow. That was unexpected. Pardon the lawnmower going off in the background if you hear that, but the song 10 out of 10. Music video 8 out of 10. This overall debut package 9 out of 10. It is a near perfect debut. I'm really surprised by how good this is. But when I say it's a 9 out of 10, I really have to put a star next to that, like an asterisk. Not for anything other than compared to other 9 out of 10 ratings, like I would say like it's a stronger 9 compared to other 9s, which I realize that makes the scoring system very arbitrary. So let's go with, it's like a 9.5. The reason for that being is the song is excellent, and I wasn't quite sure what was making this song so good for me, what was drawing me in. But the more we got into it, I realized the way they structured this song and also the way they utilize their players is very similar to the way that NCT does things. And in my opinion, I think objectively, I think NCT as a boy group is one of the best, if not the best. I'm not talking about they're my favorite boy group, but in terms of like, they excel at the highest level. They are like machines, right? But SM is the only type of label that ever debuts what feels like just machines. And something that I've been noticing about a lot of NCT's music, 127 specifically, and their title tracks, is that especially the way they mix it, but also the way they structure the songs, they use a lot of American songwriters, so the instrumentals are not as like loud and outlandish as some others. You know, there are some catchy moments, you know, like that crazy guitar part you hear and Kick It. But overall, the instrumental usually is very bare bones because they're putting their vocalists and their rappers at the forefront. If you think about most NCT 127 songs, who drives those songs, right? The vocalists, you know, you've got Taeil, Toyoung, Haechan, plenty of people. You know, you've got rappers like Mark and Taeyong. Like, different people lead the song, right? And so I think that's what I was feeling with TRENDZ. TRENDZ, they are not driven by their instrumental. They are not even driven by the top line. You know, that's also one of the biggest things about K-pop that makes K-pop K-pop is the catchy top lines. And, you know, they had one in the chorus, "We can blow it up like TNT." That's a very, very good one. But the rest of the song, the verses, the bridge, everything is driven by their vocals, their rapping. And it's because the instrumental is just very, very bare bones and minimalistic, kind of similar to what NCT does. And the thing is, it's not that they're copying NCT. That's not what I'm saying. The reason why what NCT does is so rare and not as common, I personally feel like, this is just my observation, is not a lot of groups necessarily, one, even want to do that style. It's a very Western style, but also they don't necessarily always have the skills to back that up. You know, when you listen to this song, their vocals are clear. Their rapping is clear. It drives it. None of this song is driven by the instrumental. Like this is one of those groups, they debut and they debut and I'm confident that this group is going to do well with any comeback that they do. Because this song, as good as the instrumental was, it was not the instrumental that blew me away. It was them. And it just goes to show that it doesn't matter who you place them in the hands of, like what songwriter that they work with. Whoever the music producer is, it's not going to matter. Well, I mean, I'm sure it'll have, you know, some bearing of influence. But at the end of the day, they are talented enough to back up their talent. I mean, they're dancing in the press releases. I had already heard that they would be doing some powerful dancing, but at the start of the video, it immediately catches your attention already. But also, it's just their dancing and their vocals at the forefront. They are incredibly talented. And, you know, nowadays in K-pop, I don't know what these boys, what their training time and what their history is like. But nowadays, a lot of K-pop companies do not want to invest a lot of training time into K-pop groups. Whereas, you know, the standard for K-pop used to be, let's make the best of the best. That's no longer the standard anymore. It's just like, hey, you're good enough, let's debut you. And then it's like, you know, we're hoping that you go through the system and the system will immediately clean you up. And that's paid off in several cases. But I really like to see a group where they debut and out the gate, I'm like, I have confidence in this group. I am totally on board with this group. And also, something I want to point out before we wrap up this review, this music video was produced really, really well. The creative direction for this music video was done really, really well. I was a little bit worried when we started this video because we started in our classic industrial factory setting. And if you watched my Kepler reaction lately, the Kepler debut, and if you've been following the channel for a while, you'll know that I am just not a fan of the industrial concept. Not because it's bad, but it is probably one of the most difficult concepts to pull off and make look visually appealing. I think this is a very good example of how you can make the industrial concept look good. Whereas, like, for example, if you take the outdoor set that they had in Kepler's Wadada, they were in front of a bunch of like silos, and they were like, okay, let's throw in like these colorful playgrounds, and then that was all they did. No set dressing, like no additional set dressing, no additional lighting, no extra work and care put into it. But if you look at this scene, even just this opening scene alone, what strikes me, okay, they immediately changed the shot. What strikes me is immediately this scene has so much going on. The scene is alive and it's interesting. It visually captures your attention. One, I think it helps that the choreography, this kind of like almost like Kraken-like thing they're doing where it's like a bunch of tentacles coming out, already is visually really cool. But look at what they're doing in this area in this set. And I'm pretty sure I've seen this set before. This might be the same set where Jiwoo and Somin from Card shot their enemy choreo video. It might be, but it's a very standard warehouse set, right? Warehouse sets are cheap compared to other sets. And so to make it look interesting, well, let's break down how they made it look interesting. So I'm not quite sure how they pulled this off. I don't know if it's color grading or it's probably color grading, but okay, it's definitely color grading. I'm seeing how it's affecting the shadows and the lights here. So we'll actually get into that in a little bit. But first of all, they hose down the ground, which is super, super helpful. It's a very common filmmaking move, especially like if you go watch a movie, especially a high quality movie, if you ever see scenes that take place out at night, sometimes you're going to notice that the streets are wet, even though it's not raining. And that's because the crew goes down and hoses it down because why? Usually when there's like lamps, like the street lamps, and then they're reflecting on the ground, it's creating this shine. You see this shine and sheen right here? It makes it look prettier, right? It's those little things that make something look a little bit more aesthetically appealing. Then you also have this line of fire that they made, which it's not even just a straight horizontal line, like a horizon in the back. They framed it. So then they have this line, and then it comes forward a little like this, and it comes forward a little like this. So already they're adding depth to the shot. It's not just them and then this background. If this fire wasn't there, it would not separate them as much from the background as possible. And so because they're doing that, they're adding like multiple dimensions to this shot alone. And then you have this background right here. You've got the light rays coming in. How are those light rays being achieved? They have a fog machine right here. They're shooting the fog machine. You see like the fog is like super heavily concentrated here, and then it starts to dissipate more throughout the scene. That's because it's probably being shot from here and it's like traveling throughout the rest of the room. But by adding fog into the scene, you're going to be getting those light rays. I am probably going to safely assume that these holes in here were probably already here. Like, I'm sure they're not going around punching holes in locations that they're renting. But to make use of those light rays, look at all the light rays coming in. It looks heavenly and angelic. It looks awesome. You need smoke to do that. You need particles to refract the light. And so if you don't have a fog machine, you're not going to be getting this effect. So that's really cool on their part. And then the color grading. They went in, and with the color grading, they added a little teal into the shadows. And so because you've got like this teal color right here, and the way the fire, if you notice, the fire is even the light of the fire is refracting onto the smoke as well. So then now it's combining. It's combining elements of the teal in the shadows and then also the orange from the fire. And you've got a much more dynamic looking video but just like two primary colors just opposing each other. And it looks really, really cool. That immediately caught my attention that it just looks visually interesting. And can they dance? Hell yeah, they can dance. They can dance really powerfully. I really liked this set right here. I really liked this set because this is the case of just go simple, but go super overboard. And so all they have, if you're thinking about it, like all they have is like these giant banners and, you know, like these writings of paradise. I want to go back. That like, it's not even like a cool graffiti type thing. It's just letters, right? But all they did was like, all right, let's have so many banners that it completely fills the scene, which is nice. And then I have to imagine this was completely intentional on the either the camera operator or the DP or the director. This empty space right here, but it's only where his head is. It looks really, really nice. It creates a nice dynamic look. So then now it's not too cluttered. There's still kind of like a little breathing room in the shot. And then they didn't have to do this. They didn't have to do this. And I don't know if most people would think of this. They littered the floor with these cards or these paper, whatever. And because of that, the ground is also interesting. And also because the paper's white, it's then reflecting the magenta light. Whereas if you notice, the black is absorbing the magenta, right? Because black tends to absorb light. I will say, I think the one thing that if I had to give a critique, it didn't catch my attention at first, is their styling. They look good, but in the beginning, it was like especially like in the silhouette, it looked super dope. I was like, oh my God, that looks dope. But then when they get to here, I don't know, maybe he needed like a jacket. I don't know. There are certain members where I'm like, that just didn't quite leave an impression on me styling wise. And that's something that I very rarely have to point out, because most of the time K-pop is on it with the styling. Now, I'm not saying that they should be wearing crazy cool tactical vests, or they need to be wearing like the reflector outfits, or I'm not saying they need to dress more K-pop. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying like a little more. It just needs a little bit of splash, a little bit of color, I don't mean like actual color, I mean figurative. Like they just need a little something extra with their outfits. I actually do like the fact that they're not dressed like super K-pop, and they're dressed a little bit more in like this street fashion, and it's really, really fashionable. So that's dope. This set right here made me realize also, like, if I can get a better shot of it. Oh, by the way, I loved this shot. The way they shot inside this phone booth, and they're covering it with water. I mean, for this kid, it must have been steamy as hell. It must have been hot as hell, but goddamn, it looks so dope and so cool. Yeah, this shot right here, and then where they CG in this sky. Look at that. That looks so dope. All they had to build was this half cycle, like half circular set. Like, wait a minute. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wait a minute. This set isn't. Holy shit. Oh my God. This production team. They are super talented. Okay. What blew me away, and I think what might break a little bit of the fantasy, is these are just like packing boxes. Like, do you guys see that? Like, do you guys see the line right here? And the tape? Do you see the tape right here? The tape right here? These are regular, square, like those beige brown packing boxes. Hold on. Can we get a better shot? So the reason why I'm realizing that is a little bit like, see right there? See right there? This isn't something, it's not a structure that they built. Like it's just, they're just on top of each other. They might be glued on, but they're just on top of each other. And then I thought like, whoa, it's this really cool, heavenly, angelic scene, but it's just totally manipulation. And the CG element was really well done. This might still be in that factory setting. They're just shooting really high-powered lights. And look, if you notice, fog. So by adding in, once again, the fog element into the video, they're giving it a much more ethereal look than it is. Dude, you guys could shoot this in your own house. Is this level of production? These are just regular boxes. The only thing is that the one thing, most ordinary people would not have access to is they are flooding him with blue light, and they're flooding this entire scene with blue light. And it's what makes it look like not like packing boxes, but when the white brightness hits, you see the little hints of brown right there, the little hints of the yellow pigments. And, I think the CG sky replacement really, really helped. Wow. That's quite incredible. I mean, I was just going to say that set looked dope. I didn't realize that's even what they did. Oh my God. I didn't even realize this set is also basic. This set is, wow, how did they hide this so well? Look, it's just a bunch of light bars and then like a fabric cloth hanging on something. Oh my goodness, they did such a great job of masking this. Hold on, I think there's a better shot of this. Oh yeah, you can see the tape on the boxes, right? See, you can see the cables. Yeah, they're still they're in a warehouse set. That's quite incredible. Also, I gotta say then, it's not just the work from the production crew that's really selling this, but also the boys themselves. It's really, really, really well done. Now, this is the one part I would have maybe had criticism about. I'm like, yo, scene is way too flat. You know, there's a little bit of a hair light on him right here. You know, you can see this little hair light, but it's not covering him. But it was on purpose. I really, really like it. You know, we can blow it up like TNT, right? And so literally they're leading up to this point right here. They literally blew a hole in the ceiling. Obviously it's all CG, but the light that it's causing and like this, and they're just drenching. I mean, they made use of this fog machine, right? They were like, hey, if we paid $100 for this fog machine, we are making our money's worth from this. So they just drenched the scene in fog, and look how epic this looks. And the strobing effect. I mean, yeah, look at even just like this guy's solo scene. This right here. Look at this scene right here. Same warehouse set. Same thing they did earlier with the fire. This kid, same warehouse set, just a telephone booth, drenching him in rain with fire. They're repeating and rinsing their same concepts over and over, and it works. It's an interesting video. It's visually captivating. They are captivating. They have the sauce. It's quite incredible. I think they did an incredibly amazing job. Okay. Oh my God. This is where they shot the fucking thing. The 216. This scene. This scene, if you notice the light bars, but also like these little things that's holding down the tarp right there. If you go to 216, you can see that tarp. They just shot this in this. Oh my God. They just recycled set after set after set. And the way that the song plays out and the way that the music video is directed and edited, it makes it not boring. It makes you feel like this is a fresh music video. So this is a video on it's on a smaller budget, but with a really creative crew. Oh my goodness. I gave the music video an 8. I gave the music video an 8, but I gotta give the music video a 9. Like, what they did with that budget is quite incredible. Oh my goodness. So this debut, still, I would say, like, honestly, like, now like a 9.8. I think like song, their dancing, their charisma, their confidence, and the music video, 9.8. It is a near perfect debut. Like, literally the only thing is like, I mean, they didn't have more money, but like this was enough money. Wow. Guys, that's TNT, Truth and Trust by TRENDZ. Would love to know what you guys thought. You know, did you guys like the debut? Were you impressed? I personally was very, very impressed. I know the bad boy, you know, emo boy group concept is not necessarily new or fresh in K-pop, but, you know, as I said, with the music, it's the fact that the singing is at the forefront, which is a very big thing, and the rapping is not an afterthought, which is a very big thing. You know, I place them in that style of like Big Bang and NCT. While the songs don't sound like Big Bang or NCT songs, but having that confidence to just put their rappers and singers at the forefront, I don't know, it was just dripping and oozing with style. I would say probably the one critique I would give it is that because they were on a limited budget, everyone's solo scenes are not as memorable, right? It's just on a black background. It's a hard way to get to know the members, and it's a hard way to remember the members. And so I totally understand within the confines of their budget that this is what they were able to come up with, and that's why it's a 9.8, near perfect. I think the only thing that would have made this music video better is if everyone's individual solo scenes were maybe a little bit more dynamic and different from one another. But they are all similar, which is great and all, but at the same time, it does have its drawback of like, I don't know who is who. But at the same time, I'm going to be tuning in again, and I hope to find out more about them in the future. But guys, That's TNT by TRENDZ. What did you guys think? I can't believe, holy moly, I just did a 30-minute review video solely watching it only once. That is how good this was. I was able to do a thorough breakdown of both the song and the music video without doing a second watch through. That's quite incredible. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this and you would like to support the channel, remember you can always visit our Patreon. Your patronage is what helps keeps the lights on. We don't make money doing these reaction videos over here, so we would really appreciate it. Of course, you don't have to support us monetarily if you don't want to. You could just hit the like button down below. Make sure to subscribe. We're going to have a subscribe button right here. Just make sure to blow it up like TNT. And go ahead and check out our other videos over here. And we will see you guys next time. Bye. Have a wonderful day.